can I talk to you a little bit about the basketball gambling scandal?
I'm sorry.
I know.
Wait, what? You know about the basketball gambling scandal?
I know very little bit about it. Okay, I don't know the names of the people that are involved. I mean, I heard them, but I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Hall of Famer, no big deal.
Okay. But I'm listening to this story, and one of the things that caught my attention was how sophisticated it was. X-ray tables that could read the cards from underneath.
Yeah, this is the illegal poker game part of this scenario. Yeah.
And the contacts where they could read the back of the cards. All of these different things, and I thought that was really kind of cool. That's kind of James Bondy.
Yeah,
so I was kind of a little interested in that. But then I got to the point to where it was 4 out of the 5 crime families. Okay, and the newscast I heard was it was the Italian Mafia, and then Genovese crime family, blah 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 blah. And I actually got to the end of that story, and I'm like, oh, you remember when we just had the 5 crime families? And they were killing each other in New York. Oh, it's like my childhood coming back. It's like, oh, I understand this news.
Warm and fuzzy memories of the mob.
Right. It was.
Yeah.
It was like when crime made sense.
I like that take. Yeah. That makes me feel a lot better about it. Yeah.
That's what I'm here for today.
Yeah, it does feel kind of antiquated. A little like, quaint.
It's like old fashioned. It's like, hey, somebody went in and robbed all the sarsaparilla from the fountain.
I like that. Yeah, that's the way to go with this. I think
it really is. It really is.
It does feel like you think about these players. Some of them have made hundreds of millions of dollars in their careers, and they're worried about illegal poker games and a couple of $100,000 betting on the under on Terry Rozier's assists or something.
So that part. Did you ever see any of those games? Like, because the way I heard it, that's the way I interpreted it.
Sure.
That, they got hurt and then they had to leave early or whatever.
There was, the main one that they highlighted was a guy who basically told people in advance he was going to leave the game early. Right. And so everyone could bet the under. Like, they score fewer points.
Correct.
And then he left after 9 minutes of the game. So he didn't hit any of those.
So did he get hurt? Did he ow?
I mean, was it obvious? Was a faked injury, yeah.
Was it obvious?
I don't remember watching that game. There have been highlights released of him. Just to give you background quickly on this player, very good player for many years. And over the last 2 years, his entire career has mysteriously fallen apart. I mean, it was like an outside of the gambling, like what happened to this guy, Terry Rozier, who was like a good player for a long time, 20 points a game type of guy, and then couldn't even get on the court, like was traded for a number 1 pick and all of a sudden just fell apart. And some of the highlights of games of his are so bad. Like they are plays that I would see when I was coaching my 7-year-old's basketball games. Like they're horrible that you would never see an NBA player make. And the insinuation now, of course, is it had to be something related to the gambling. Though in the indictment, I don't think it was charged like that particular game that he had done anything with. But he looked so bad that either something was really going on with him physically or he, allegedly was gambling.
What was the NBA's tie to the card table?
So the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups, is a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah, I had to bring Portland. I was happy with the Italian Mafia.
Right.
And now you have to remind me Portland.
Right. So he was playing, the fascinating part of this, he was playing, they had set up these illegal poker games. And like a lot of people are like, well, I can't believe now they made gambling legal. All these scandals are happening. Let me just remind you of the word illegal in illegal poker games. Like part of this was done on, legal betting services on the sports stuff, but like, the poker is illegal. This all still happened, okay? So you're not allowed. What's funny is they're not really getting in trouble for having illegal poker games. They're having trouble for cheating at the illegal poker games, which is with all the technology you were mentioning. And what they did was say, hey, we're going to have these underground poker games, some of them underground in Vegas, which By the way, you can play legal poker games in Vegas. Don't go to illegal poker games when you're getting this type of pitch, which was, hey, come see, you'll sit next to Hall of Fame players and former players. They're all big money and they're not even top-notch players. They don't. Who knows? They might lose.
And everyone was in at it at the table except the fish.
A couple of fish that would come in. Nice. You did read this indictment. And you're using poker terminology. It's impressive. But so these guys would come in. Some of them were professional poker players. And of course, their motivation for being there, we should note, was to take advantage of the stupid players that were going to do dumb things during these games.
Now, was this in
a legal way?
Were these the NBA players that were kind of muscled into it because of their poker debts?
I think there are some stories about that in the indictment where they players had debts, so they had to come and participate in the illegal games to essentially pay off their Mafia gambling debts that were unrelated. Now, of course, this stuff has happened forever. The fascinating part about this is...
the mob does not exist.
The mob does not exist.
I mean, if the mob does exist, I want them to know I love them.
You're a huge fan.
I'm a huge fan of the Mafia.
If they existed.
But they don't exist, so let's not even talk about them.
One fascinating part of this...
Can you tell we lived in Connecticut for a while?
The pizza's delicious.
It's really good. It's really good.
Really good. So there are now clips being unearthed. I saw one yesterday of a 2023 clip of a professional poker player saying all of this was going on. This is now 2 years ago, saying he knew people who would go to these games and they would play against Chauncey Billups, this is a guy he mentioned, and obviously they were cheating because they would just go all in on combinations of cards that you would never go all in on, and they just would win every time. And so it was really obvious to the professionals who were going there going, oh, I see what's happening here, and they would stop going. This was a known thing. Now, it's a comical situation when it comes to the poker stuff because, again, you're talking Chauncey Billups made 9 figures in his career. He's not a guy who certainly is short on money. Some people
apparently he was if he had gambling debts.
Well, I don't know
the mob.
I don't think he was the guy in that particular. Okay. I could be wrong on that. There was a lot of there's multiple people involved in this. I may have missed up the details, but some people, you're right, can gamble away $100 million. Mm-hmm. It's certainly possible. But if you're an addict. Right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. We always say, you talk about alcoholism, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a big alcoholic, people would say, well, you've got all this to live for. Why would you ruin it with alcohol? Well, you're addicted. Mm-hmm. You're having a real problem. You have they would call a disease, right?
Right.
It's a serious issue that's not easy to just drop off.
You know what makes me stop drinking? Mob threats. That's when I'm I think I have a problem. All right, but anyway, go ahead.
If they existed.
If they existed, they wouldn't threat. We know if they for anyone in this fictional Costa Nostra thing, we know you wouldn't threaten anyone. The pizza is great.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Some of the best sauce you'll ever have.
Yeah,
ever have. But yeah, so it's a pretty amazing story, and it is not as bad, I think, as previous gambling stories where referees were actually fixing games.
Right.
That is a much, much worse thing than what we've seen, at least so far in this. But it's a pretty big story, and I'm impressed, Glenn. You're aware of it. You seem to have actual information about it.
Thank you.
What's going on with you? We used to have conversations about sports that would just be nonstop comedy because you were so embarrassing about your knowledge.
Well, this isn't really. This was a mob story.
Okay.
This was a mob story.
All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I have zero interest in the NBA.
Okay.
Zero.
So this is basically your version of a mob movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's as close as I could get to a mob movie today. And I love mob movies. So, anyway, mainly I like watching mob movies. Well, I mean, I like the characters in them, but I really like the food. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Geez, you get to eat like that. I don't know. Is it worth it? Is that blood or is that tomato sauce? I don't know.
As someone who grew up in near New Haven, Connecticut, and you worked in New Haven, Connecticut for years, there's a calculation made by the community that they're kind of fine with the mob if they can have the pizza. We're actually,
oh, yeah.
The pizza's so good, you guys can commit a certain number of crimes.
Can I tell you something? That's the only part of New Haven, though, that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
I mean, New Haven is just a rap hole. It is. Come on, it is. Not the surrounding areas. New Haven itself, crap hole.
It has some bad situations around
I mean, it starts at Yale and then goes downhill, okay?
But that
Except, Worcester Street. This whole area, completely not run by the mob. And it's the safest place you could take a woman and have her take all of her clothes off and tape $100 bills to her and say, walk down this street at 11 o'clock at night and she's totally safe. Totally safe. Unless one of the mob bosses are like, you know what? I think maybe we got to tuck the her over here, bring her over here, you know. Otherwise, there's no crime happening there.
And we should move all of this outside of the pizza quality is alleged. We don't have any information.
I'm a fiction writer. You're
a fiction writer. Not the pizza, though. The pizza is that good. Anyone who knows pizza, like you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, New York pizza, New York style pizza. That doesn't mean you know anything about pizza.
No.
If they say New Haven
pizza, it truly is the best pizza out there. But I tell you, they get on that particular street. Do not ask anything about the pizza. And if it comes, because it's brick oven, and so, it'll come a little burned. That's the way it comes.
It's supposed to come that way.
Do not say anything about it.
Can I have light crust? Don't do that. Don't say it.
They just take it away from you.
Yes.
They look at you, then they look at the picture of Frank Sinatra on the wall, then they look at you, and you're dead. Just leave.
It's like a soup Nazi situation a little bit. It can be.
It really is.